Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Media Boat Podcast, your weekly rundown where we talk movies, TV, music, and video games. Not necessarily in that order.
Mhm.
My name is Mike. My name is Matt.
We're making up a language here, folks. It's great. Yeah, my name is Matt. His name is Mike. This is episode 512 of the Media Boat Podcast. Today is November the 11th, 2025, 11/11, and let's make a wish to complete this podcast.
Yep. Say hello to your veterans for you as
Yes,
we
also
get into
Veterans Day, all
this.
right. Yes.
Yep, we're going to start this podcast off with the music section. Start the music section with
Yes.
the Billboard. Start the Billboard with the Hot 100. And the
All right.
hottest song in the land is The Fate of Ophelia by Taylor Swift.
Still.
Coming at 2, Golden by Huntrix, the various artists. At 3, Ordinary by Alex Warren.
Mhm.
At 4 is Opalite by Taylor Swift. And rounding your top 5, Man I Need by Olivia Dean.
Yes.
Not much has changed in
No,
that top
same as
100.
last week.
As for your album chart, your Billboard 200, still at number 1 is The Life of a Showgirl by Taylor Swift. At 2 is still K-Pop Demon Hunters, the soundtrack by various artists. Still hanging around at number 3 is The Problem himself, Morgan Wallen. At 4 is Everybody Scream by Florence and the Machine. And rounding our top 5, Chromacopia by Tyler, the Creator.
Yeah, pretty much the same as last week, except this is Florence entering the chart and Tyler the Creator's Chromacopia coming back due to a deluxe re-release.
Oh, those re-releases.
Hmm.
All right. If you like any of those albums, we do have not a re-release, but new releases, including Chin Up Buttercup by Astra, Another Picture by Blonde Shell, All Washed Up by Cheap Trick. Yes, those cheap tricks.
Yes.
Okay. We have Eusexua Afterglow by FKA Twigs. I believe that's how you spell that.
Yeah, something like that.
And to round it all off, Ultrasound by The Neighborhood.
Yes. That was five parentheses that you did just now.
Yes, I'm sorry for all you audio listeners out there.
Yes.
It's these brackets.
Yeah,
All right.
five parentheses there.
Well, what you don't need parentheses for is our music story,
Yes.
as award season is upon us. Well, not those award seasons, but yes, this award season because the Grammy noms were this
Yes.
past week. And who should be at the top but Kendrick Lamar, who's not like us, single triumphed in 2 of the top 3 categories at the 2025 Grammys, has voters having still further opportunities to reward him this year with the potent follow through of both a smash album of GNX and the single Luther, both poised to offer the hip hop superstar, his words, not mine, even more of a sweep in the 2026 awards. Lamar leads the pack of the nominees for the 2026 Grammys with 9 nominations. In those nods rolled out by the RCA on Friday. The morning was also a big one for all you little monsters out there, as Lady Gaga's fan base cheered on her 7 nominations, which is no 9 nominations, but it does top her previous record of 6, and which she scored back in 2010. Lady Gaga ties for the second most nominations with producer Jack Antonoff and Circuit, who also found 7 to be their lucky number. Every year, there's at least one rising artist who gets substantially bigger bonanza of nominations than anyone had prognosticated. And this year, that artist is Leon Thomas, as he scored a very surprising 6 nods, which puts him in a tie with Sabrina Carpenter, Bad Bunny, and audio engineer and mixer Serban Gane.
Yeah, it's an interesting year. It does look like Kendrick is poised to do pretty well.
Hmm.
But other than that, though, it's a pretty balanced list of nominations, I think. Everyone you'd think should be in this conversation is, except for a couple of notable exceptions. One, yes, this is the first time since 2007 that Taylor Swift, the Grammy Queen, is not eligible. She did not release any music in the eligibility window for this year's Grammys. Hard to believe, I know, because she's been so prolific the last 5 years, but nope, not in this zone. The Life of a Showgirl and its singles will not compete until next year.
That's because they were released on October 3rd, three
Yes.
days after the window closed.
Yes. I don't know if
So it
that
gets
was
a
on
full
purpose.
year of
Yeah.
out there promoting, propagating, and just getting into all your rehearsals until you get to next year's Grammy noms. And like, wait, this wasn't already Grammy nominated? Does it
Right. It'll be
already win?
the same thing that happened with Midnight's, which ironically, of course, is the last time that she won Album of the Year. But this time,
And
someone
then she
else will have
announced
to
her
win.
next album during said
Yes.
Grammys.
But yeah, so yeah, she'll have to like somebody else will have to take the Grammys this year as she will not be competing. Another snub that people noticed is that Something Beautiful, Miley Cyrus's Grammy bait of a record, did not get an Album of the Year nomination.
Mhm.
It is, however, acknowledged in the pop vocal album category. But it is interesting considering her Grammy come up last year that we don't see her at this ceremony as much. Interesting how things come and go in Grammy land. But yeah, other than that, it should be an interesting year to watch. And as we get a little closer, yeah, we'll dig more into those nominations, I'm sure.
Oh, yes. On a personal note of Grammy nominations, it's good to see one of my favorites, Linkin Park,
Yes.
nominated in the rock category and also in the performance category as well.
Yes, From Zero, the record is nominated, and so is the single, The Emptiness Machine.
Hmm.
So yeah, we'll see.
Yep. We'll see. I did also see something, correct if I'm wrong here, but this is Lady Gaga's. Well, no, she doesn't top in nominations because that's still Beyonce,
Mhm.
but she's getting closer,
Yeah, she's
I
definitely
believe.
getting closer with this. I mean, hey, that goes to show you that when you have a career that's lasted 15 years, like Gaga's 16, then yeah, you eventually rack up those numbers for sure.
Yep. But yeah,
All
those
right.
Grammy noms are out. Eligible
Yep.
voting is currently happening, but the awards won't be out until
February.
February.
Yes.
All right. Well, did you listen to any of these Grammy nominated songs, albums, and artists?
No, not this week at least. Not much to talk about.
All right. Well, Bad Bunny could have well, that's not Bad Bunny could have a record month as the Grammys are right before the Super Bowl,
Yes,
normally in that break. So you could be a Grammy Award winning artist performing at the Super Bowl, or
it's true.
Grammy Award losing artist performing at the Super Bowl.
Only a matter of time till we find out.
Yes.
All
Uh,
right.
well, if nothing else, let's go on then into video games, where we start with new releases,
Hmm.
including, hey, this game already came out, Escape from Tarkov.
Out of early access this week
Ah,
and getting a 1.0 release on PC.
okay, isn't this like 5 years in the making too?
Oh yeah, it's been a while.
Speaking of 5 years in the making, Call of Duty, Black Ops 7. Your big wide release out everywhere. You got it. You can play it.
Yep, that is day one on Game Pass if you are a Game Pass Ultimate subscriber on console, I believe. And I think PC? I'm not sure. But yeah.
Also wide release, Inazuma 11, Victory Road. That's your big
Yep.
wide release. And you got it. You can play it. We also have Dragon Ball Sparking Zero for the Switch and Switch 2. It's already out on consoles.
Yes.
There's also Anno 117, Pax Romana for the PC, PS5, and Xbox Series X. I believe that's a sequel to Anno 117.
Yeah.
We also have Yakuza Kiwami for the Switch 2 and Yakuza Kiwami 2 for the Switch 2.
Yes, those are
Unfortunately,
remasters.
those aren't bundled
Yes.
together.
No, the but yeah, those are remasters of Yakuza 1 and 2 respectively. Yakuza 3 Kiwami also was recently announced. That will be eventually coming to consoles and to Xbox, PC, PS5, and also Switch 2.
We also have Lumines Arise for the PC and PS5.
Believe it's Lumines.
Sure, you could call it that.
Yes.
There's Sacred 2, Fallen Angel Remaster for the PC, PS5, and Xbox Series X. And lastly, get your gotcha game going because Solo Leveling, Arise Overdrive is out for the PC.
Yeah, that one was just for you.
Yeah, no.
Um, I do want to mention, in case you don't know, Lumines Arise, important release this week. That is by the Tetris Effect people. It is in sort of
It's the
spiritual
puzzle one.
sequel in a way to Tetris Effect, but this time instead of Tetris is the puzzle game Lumines, which people who owned PSP handhelds might remember as a big hit on the PSP. It later was released on other consoles as well.
Right. I believe this is scrolling instead of vertical falling.
Yeah, it has a line that goes across it to the beat of the music, and blocks get cleared when that line goes across. I tried Lumines a long time ago, didn't really understand the mechanic, and did kind of bailed on it. However, everything I hear about Lumines Arise makes it sound like it's just as good as Tetris Effect was, and it has me interested in maybe giving it a shot. But I also look at the release calendar, and we're staring right down the barrel of Kirby Air Riders next week. So I don't know. That might be the thing I play instead. We'll see.
Right. Your game of the year, Kirby Air
Hey,
Riders.
I'm not gonna count eating chickens before they hatch over here. This is a tough year for Game of the Year. So
Well, it's also going to be a tough year next year as Grand Theft Auto 6 is still scheduled to come out next year. Just not when you thought it was going to come out
yeah.
because the much anticipated sequel has been delayed and then delayed again
Hmm.
from Rockstar, as they said in a post, quote, "Hi everyone! Grand Theft Auto 6 will now release on Thursday, November 19th, 2026. We are sorry for adding additional time to what we realize has been a long wait, but these extra months will allow us to finish the game with the level of polish you've come to expect and deserve."
So
Close quote.
I don't know when Mickey Mouse started working at Rockstar. But thank you, Mickey, for that announcement. Yeah,
It's just a very positive spin on an otherwise dreary note.
Yeah, it's an interesting thing because everybody in this industry knows that basically this is going to change the entire calendar year next year because people were moving their video game releases around the release of GTA 6. Now they have to do it again and move stuff earlier back up to the earlier months in the calendar now that they know that they're freed up. So it's just chaos, I'm sure, if you're putting out a game in 2026 right now after this announcement. It also means that, yes, we have to wait even longer to see what this game actually is. We've seen trailers, but that's not the same thing as gameplay, and we don't know a lot of the moment to moment things that we're going to be doing in GTA 6. Is this just another GTA? Because, they're promising quite a generational shift here, and we still don't know what that is. So, yeah, we have to
Right.
wait even
The
longer.
rumor I've seen is that this becomes a sandbox, Roblox-like game where you can build anything you want
Yeah.
in this megalopolis city, minus the time freeze and less Adam Driver.
Yeah, a lot less. Well, actually, I don't know if that's true. They could
I
get
don't
him
know. You
to
can
do
make
a
yourself an Adam Driver in there.
a
I'm pretty
voice or
sure.
something. Yeah, and you can just make yourself look like Adam Driver. That works too. Yeah. It is interesting to see such a big release pushed further and further back. Who knows if this will be the last delay this game sees? I don't know. Maybe we are talking 2027. Maybe we're talking PlayStation 6 release game. Who knows? All we know is that yes, we have to wait a little bit longer for GTA 6, but there's a dark side to this story, folks, and that's the second half of this news story.
Right, because while it's still coming out in 2026, it does leave room for Kingdom Hearts 4 to come out in 2027, as long as it doesn't get
Yeah,
pushed into it.
we'll see.
If not later, because then there's also the Final Fantasy VII conclusion that's coming out in 2027.
That is true.
Maybe, hopefully.
Maybe, hopefully.
So we'll see. But meanwhile,
Hmm.
Rockstar Games has claimed that its decision to fire dozens of employees last week was due to their alleged leaking of company secrets, not their attempts to unionize. Last week, the Independent Workers Union of Great Britain claimed that Rockstar had fired over 30 staff across its offices in the UK and Canada. The union alleged last week that the employees were fired because they were a part of an IWGB Game Workers Union channel on Discord and were either members of the union or were attempting to organize a union at Rockstar. In a strongly worded statement, the IWGB called Rockstar's move, quote, a brazen act of illegal union busting, with its president, Alex Marshall, accusing the company of, and I'm quoting him here, not me, a calculated attack on workers, organizing for a collective voice and to improve their difficult working conditions. Close quote.
Yeah. It's interesting to have both of these stories happen at the same time. While the game is still being worked on and is apparently not even close to being finished, it is interesting to see workers get canned. And whether or not that is because of unionization, well, depends on apparently who you talk to. Of course, Rockstar's outward facing story is going to be different. There were some leaks. There's no evidence that it was done by the employees that were fired. But we do know, what we do know though, is that there was a movement to unionize in Rockstar at the time. And it is unfortunate that this puts a wrench in those plans and makes it look like Rockstar's not going to play ball, whether they admit it or not. It is unfortunate as we want more labor movements like this in the video game industry. It is scary when you look at this, one of the biggest companies right now in video games and see, oh, well, I don't want that happen to me. And so you are are you a little more trigger shy in the smaller studios? So it's very unfortunate to see this. Whether or not they did actually lay them off due to the union association, regardless, it's lame, and I'm hoping more attention is given to this, so that way a labor movement can really continue in video games.
Now, which story happened first? The union busting or the delay?
So it actually was the union busting story, because it started actually with just four employees who had allegedly gone to like HR to talk about possibility about labor relations and unionization, and they were fired first. It ended up being, I believe, the number as of today is 31. They're being kind of colloquially referred to as the Rockstar 31 right now. It was the Rockstar 4, and now it's the Rockstar 31. So yeah, that's what we know so far. So yeah, it does have like the story did technically start first. I hesitate to link the two stories in the same way that you're suggesting, though. I don't think that the delay was because of this. Um,
Oh no,
it
I'm
is.
not saying the delay is because of this. I'm saying the announcement of the delay is because of
Oh,
this, because
well,
it shifts the focus and the narrative around Rockstar.
I honestly think that that was going to happen regardless around this time, like regardless of what would have happened, because the stuff with like they know that their shareholders are waiting at bated breath to find out what the next step is for GTA 6, and they need to let them know at certain times of the year. And I think that this was just naturally when they were going to say this anyways.
Right, in the middle of Q4, and not say at the beginning of a quarter or during an
No.
investors meeting.
Yeah, but think about the video game industry. Right now, everybody is preparing for what they have to show at the Game Awards. We're just about a month away. That's the other video game story, by the way, that happened this week is the
Mhm.
stuff about the Game Awards Future Class. I didn't have, since this story was bigger, I didn't really include it. But that's also a mess right now in video games. But yeah, we'll have to tackle that another time.
Yes, but in the meantime, Rockstar Games.
Yeah.
You're not getting my game on time. You're laying off employees and inopportune time.
It looks pretty bad.
Where's the positive here?
Yeah, it looks pretty bad. So yeah, we'll have to wait and see for some good news to come out.
Tell me something good. Wait, this is baseball.
Exactly. Why don't you tell me something good? Tell me how much of a Fall Guys ripoff is Sonic Rumble for mobile?
Exactly. I need to apologize for last week because I assumed this was going to be a 4-on-14 based game.
It's not, no.
It's not. No, it
No.
is a Fall Guys ripoff. And playing on a console, the controls are still a little bit janky, but such as to expect from a Fall Guys type of game. Playing on mobile, I cannot get them to work. My fingers are too big. They slip everywhere on it. I I can't jump. I can't hit. I can't do anything properly on mobile. Do not play this game on mobile. I
No,
cannot
don't
stress
do it.
that enough. This game was not built for a mobile device, even though it's being broadcasted everywhere for mobile. Don't do it. Unless you want a really bad experience, or unless you like the kind of QWOP-esque falling down everywhere that Fall
Yeah.
Guys is known for, but you're not going to win anything because of it. Because the whole point of Sonic is to go fast and collect the rings. Same thing here. You either collect the most rings, or enough rings to advance, or you get to the end line to advance to the next round. And then Fall Guys style continues until there are no more either the timer runs out or there are no more competitors left. But yeah, it's straight up Fall Guys skinned to Sonic, and you can customize your own skin. That's nice.
Yeah.
It it gives you a practically free Sonic outfit or free Tails outfit. Everyone else, you have to play like 50 to 100 games to even start unlocking other people,
Yeah.
or you could pay those microtransactions. I don't suggest it. I
No.
can't see this game lasting a year.
No, I think this will be a quickly forgotten game. I think even the Sonic heads are not really talking about it or caring about it. I'm not sure. This does feel like a cash grab, and yeah, I don't think that there's going to be anybody really talking about this.
I will no longer be talking about it.
All right, fair enough. That means we can move on.
Yes. Oh, but I do have something I need to plug right here real quickly.
Okay.
I rolled credits.
On.
Hades 2.
Ooh, the first
The
time,
first
I'm
time.
sure.
The
Yeah.
first time, yes.
Okay.
I've gone up,
Congratulations.
I've gone down, I've gone all the weapons going up and going down as
Yeah.
well.
Cool.
Uh,
Good.
I rolled credits. I have conquered time, and now I'm in kind of the post-game era of it, and it's definitely a tone shift from the
Okay.
actual like game. It feels like it's a completely new game,
Oh,
but at the same
interesting.
time, I don't know how much of a drive I have to complete everything now that I've kind of completed the main story, the main objective. There's still
Sure.
a lot of other stuff to do, and it clearly gives me a checklist of things to do. I just don't know how invested I am to continue to finish those objectives.
Mm-hmm.
So it puts me at a weird dilemma because I'm still also doing Digimon Story Time Changers, and I'm still trying to finish that game as well and do all the side quests. But then there's Hades 2, which has still a lot of side quests going on and objectives for me to complete. But I don't feel the strong pull to complete it now that I've beaten the main story game of it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
As with Hades, there's still a lot of post-game content that keeps you coming back.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
definitely worth spending on your money on it. Definitely worth buying and playing it. Uh, it's a lot of fun. It will end up on my end of the year list. I just don't know at what spot at this point.
Mm-hmm. All right.
Also, I'm
Well,
very close to wrapping up Digimon Storytime Strangers.
yeah.
I'm at the literal check-in where it says have you done everything? Are you ready for the final boss? And it's
And you're
like,
like, not yet.
nope, not yet. I'm gonna go finish everything, but thanks for telling me. I love when games do that, by the way.
Yeah, no, it's always very nice when they do that because you have like just enough time to go, okay, all right, I have to get a plan now to get
All right,
like clean up
thank
all
you.
my
Now let me
stuff.
go clean up everything else and make sure I'm all
Yeah,
maxed out, and then I'll come
yeah.
back and wipe the floor over here.
All right. Well, it sounds like at least you have a plan. You have a plan ahead of time and a lot of work cut out for you video game wise, which is good.
Yeah, I mean, I've got like maybe four missions left, but they're um a lot of fetch quests. I was trying to avoid doing them, but I've literally done
Yeah.
everything else besides them. So now I was like, all right, I guess I might need to pull up a guide and tell me where this is so I don't have to spend like 4 hours running around everywhere. I can just
Yeah.
zip everywhere.
Fair enough. All
And
right. Okay. Well, that means that we can continue. I don't have any games to really talk about. Yeah, just more power wash and not much else. I don't know. Not
have
much
you
else
beaten
going on.
Borderlands 3 or 4?
No, of course I haven't. That game's huge. I don't know if I'm going to by the end of the year. I will still be able to talk about it for end of the year purposes. I played that enough of it to do that, but yeah, no, I probably will not be able to finish that game prior.
All right then. If we don't have any other video
Mhm.
games to
We can
talk
move on.
about, I mean, especially if Kirby Air Ride is coming into your
Yeah.
rotation very soon.
Oh, one note. This is where I should be talking about Unbeatable. However, literally 24 hours before the game's launch, they announced it had been delayed again. Unbeatable has been delayed until December. So yeah, I did not get my code. I did not get to play it. We will have to wait a whole nother month for before I can talk about it. So unfortunately, it will be a very last minute game contender on my top five. But I still have high hopes for it. But yeah, no unbeatable yet.
That means it's a post-Thanksgiving launch
Yes, post Thanksgiving for that one. So
because
wait.
Thanksgiving's at the very end of the month here on the 27th. I got
Mm-hmm.
my calendar.
27th. Yep. So yeah, we'll have to wait for that one. But now we can move on.
All right, now I can move on to television. We always start television with the Sports Corner, and
Yes.
we are still waiting for a deal to be made as Disney and mainly ESPN, mostly
Mm-hmm.
the Disney channels, and YouTube TV still have not struck a deal. Disney is losing an
Yes.
estimated $30 million per week
Mm-hmm.
from its network being pulled off of YouTube TV, which is roughly $4.3 million each day.
Yeah, I mean, we usually focus on, oh, it sucks that people can't watch these networks. But of course, there's another side to this, which is, yeah, they're losing potential advertising revenue. So yeah, it's a big loss if you're Disney as well to not go back to the negotiation table. I'm sure it will eventually happen, but not quite yet. While we're on the subject, I do want to mention if you are a YouTube TV subscriber, YouTube TV does have a temporary, not a solution, but at least a band-aid. They're offering right now a $20 discount off of your next bill due to the lack of a deal with Disney. You have to get an email that you should have received today, and then it will have instructions to go to your membership settings on your YouTube TV on a web browser on your YouTube TV account to add that $20 discount to your next bill. Um, for a service that's $83 a month, it's not a huge discount, but it is a chunk off of your bill. So if you do have that and you are currently suffering, then yeah, at least they're giving you some money back.
It's what, 25% roughly?
Yeah, so it's not nothing. It's not nothing. I actually just remembered that right now, and I didn't use the discount because I canceled it outright because I'm not paying that anymore. So my discount was 100%.
Hey, I mean, I also canceled my Hulu TV because I was no longer using it.
Yeah, so why bother kind of thing.
Yep.
So anyway, yeah, just that's your PSA if you're a YouTube TV subscriber out there.
All right. Also, PSA, if you're in the New York area, there's a job opening for the New York Giants at the end of the year. Brian Daboll has officially been fired after as the New York Giants head coach. Although he probably should have been fired after what was seen during the um, hard knocks with the New York Giants preseason and all of those interviews and management and interviews that he was involved with. It was like, yeah, this is the guy you want running your team. Well, turns out they finally had enough of him and they've let him go. He is the first head coach to be let go this season,
Yep.
but it won't be the last.
Nope. Never
There's usually
is.
about six openings every year.
Yeah.
Also, what but will be the last is the last of the international games for the NFL, as this week they are wrapping it up in the first game ever in Madrid, Spain. Uh, Congratulations to the sorry teams that have to go there and play. Your sacrifice will be in vain. I think that's how that goes. All right. Also, speaking of people being let go in the NBA, Nico Harrison, the GM for the Mavericks who let Luka Doncic go to the Lakers for practically nothing. Well, he has also been fired. About 8 months too late. But that has officially happened. Goodbye, Nico. I'm sure you'll land on your head somewhere. Over in the NHL, we have two huge milestones. The first happened on the ice, the second happened, well, off but also near the ice. Alex Ovechkin. We talked about how he passed Wayne Gretzky for the most goals in a career. Well, he now stands alone in a brand new category that he personally created,
Yep.
the 900 Career Goal Club.
Whew.
Member one.
Yes.
For now.
Yeah, eventually, maybe. Maybe. I don't know. We'll see.
I don't know. You got to play like 20 years in the NHL and you got to
Yeah.
score 900
Yeah.
goals.
The thing about that is we won't have another one until another 20 years, depending.
Probably. I think I saw like a stat like of the other current active players. The next one who's closest is creeping up to 600.
Yeah. It's got a while to go.
Yeah. And they're like contemplating retiring too. So to go to 900 is insane.
Yeah.
Unfathomable number. If he could, this is also like career goals in the NHL because there are players who still go and play in their home countries once they're out of the NHL and they continue to score goals, but we don't count them.
Mhm.
This is proper NHL um, being paid for your goal. Well, no, they're being paid for their goals too. How do I put this? Professional, U.S. professional. No, because
Sure.
Canada. Damn it.
we
National Hockey League stats. There we
we
go.
get it. We get the message.
Yes. Well, speaking of people who got the message,
Yes.
the 2025 Hall of Fame class has been inducted and announced. Those include Joe Thornton, Zdeno Chara, Duncan Keith, Alexander Mogilny, and then over in the women's hockey, Jennifer Jennifer Botterill and Brianna Decker.
Yes.
All have been they're all will be included in the class of 2025.
Very cool.
Congratulations.
Yes.
All right, let's get to the other hardware, the MLB hardware, where the rookie
Yes.
awards were given out
Yes.
yesterday, and I did not put
I
anything here.
I pulled it up, so you're
All
good.
right.
The winners for Rookie of the Year for the American League and National League, respectively, are Athletics first baseman Nick Kurtz and Braves catcher Drake Baldwin. So
A
yeah,
Baldwin one?
not those Baldwins.
Oh,
But yeah, in case you're curious, on the AL side, shortstop Jacob Wilson finished second, making the A's just the ninth team to have players finish one and two, respectively, in the Rookie of the Year race. So congratulations to the A's. On the National League side, Cubs right-hander Cade Horton, with his strong season, finished second, followed by Brewers infielder Caleb Durbin, who almost had a big show-off time at the in the playoff games. But yeah, so pretty solid choices. I think we'll see a lot of Kurtz and Baldwin. They're really strong players for their teams. Well, depending on what happens with the A's, but we'll
yes.
see.
But I expect Baldwin to continue playing well for the Brewers. expect him to possibly stay with the team and not, um, you know, jump ship after his 7-year rookie deal is up
Yeah.
or initial contract is up. But yeah,
Yes.
congratulations. The manager awards
I have that
are
here as well.
tonight as
I
well. I
It
think
has
they
already been
just announced them.
decided. Yep. They just announced them. I have the story 6 minutes ago. Thank
Yep.
you for we do the show when we do it for a purpose, I guess. Brewers manager Pat Murphy repeats after winning last year
Shocking,
for
not
the
shocked.
National League, and the AL winner is Stephen Vogt of the Guardians, who I believe is also repeating. Yes, like both are repeat winners from last year.
Are you sure you're just not looking up last year's story?
No, this is 6 minutes ago, like I told you. So back to back, both of them for the first time that's ever happened.
Especially for both AL and NL.
Oh, well, actually, no. It's the first time it's both happened for both. Apparently, this happened individually before. In 2004 and 2005, it was the Braves' Bobby Cox. And in 2020 and 21, it was the Rays' Kevin Cash. So, yeah, this is just the first
Right,
time
but
it's
I mean,
happened for
like at the
both.
exact same
Yeah.
time.
Yes. So congratulations to them. I think those are both the clubs that I think deserve it. The both up and comers that are just going to continue having amazing runs, even if they just can't quite make it to the World Series.
You hear that, Dave Roberts? You don't deserve the award.
No, he's too good. He's too good. He's old hat. We were talking about these up and coming teams. Anyway, so there you go. Those are your winners. And yeah, the next ones will be the Cy Young Awards tomorrow,
Yep,
and the MVP awards on the 13th.
yep, the day after. Which are we shocked, not shocked when Otani wins one, if
Yes.
not both of those awards? I'm just kidding.
No, he won't win Cy Young, but yeah, I think money's pretty strong on that. Speaking of money, I'm glad we have all those stories because it's doing a lot of great PR for the MLB, who don't want you to look at the other story happening over here.
But we're gonna look anyways.
Yes.
All right. So this happened today.
Yeah, but it's
The
because of something else that you don't actually have here.
Oh, I know. I don't want to talk about it because the
We
LP
have to
doesn't want to
talk
talk
about
about
it.
it.
It is big. It is that big.
Oh yes, sports betting in the MLB, and no, we're not talking about Pete Rose.
No, we're
Although,
not.
although
He
he
will come up.
is, he
Yeah.
will come up eventually because sports betting is a problem, a
Yeah.
national problem. And if you have a gambling problem, make sure to call 1-800-GAMBLE.
Yeah. Do it.
But prominent U.S. sports books are establishing a nationwide $200 betting limit, not minimum, limit on baseball wagers centered on individual pitches and prohibiting such bets from being included in parlays in an attempt to decrease the incentive for manipulation.
Now, why, Mike, would they have to introduce such an idea? What would have spurred that on?
I mean, it's not like you have sports betting in the palm of your hand that you can make actual live bets on specific outcomes for a specific pitch of a specific pitcher for the
Yeah.
first pitch of the third batter that happens to come to the plate. Not like you pre-plan this out. Wait, oh shit, that did happen. It was
Yeah,
pre-planned.
no, it did happen. So here's the story. I pulled it up. I'll just give the brief version
Yes.
of it. This happened in Cleveland. Guardians pitchers Emmanuel Clase and Luis Ortiz were indicted by prosecutors in Brooklyn on charges
Oh, it
related
was
to an
officially
alleged.
indicted.
Yes, they were officially indicted.
Okay.
According this story finalized yesterday. Um, on charges related to an alleged scheme to rig bets on pitches thrown in MLB games. Basically, yes, not like Pete Rose who bet on games when he was retired, but still in a MLB organization.
Well, he
This
was
is
manager.
Yeah, but you know what I mean. He's not an active player, so he
Yes.
could not technically manipulate the results of the game. Technically, depending on who you talk to. This is different. This is way different. This is way worse. These are active, like currently active players that were doing this with full knowledge. And that is way worse. So, yes, that's why they were arrested and now indicted. So the Guardians released a statement in response to this. They said, quote, "We are aware of the recent law enforcement action." I love that how broad, like how vague that is. "We will continue to fully cooperate with both law enforcement and Major League Baseball as their investigations continue." The league also had a response. They said they contacted federal law enforcement at the outset of its investigation and has fully cooperated throughout the process. "We are aware of the indictment and today's arrest, and our investigation is ongoing." So yeah, they've been placed on non-disciplinary paid leave. So yeah, until further notice, they're just probably going to be kicked out of the game because that's what you would expect, which is crazy for when you think about Class A, who was definitely in the conversation about the Cy Young earlier in the season, a generational talent when it came to pitching, and to see this now tarnish his reputation definitely means bad news for him and bad news if you're a Guardians fan.
Yes, and this has occurred in the MLB. Lest we forget, because most people do, there was a sports betting scandal in the NBA where
Yes.
it was the over-under on a player on the Bucks and rebounds, and how the stat person was just automatically awarding rebounds to them, even if they were nowhere near the ball, but counted it anyways to boost their stats and boost their
Yeah,
numbers.
it's
Internal
rough.
scheming. So
Yeah.
that happened a couple of years ago. Now we have the MLB here. I wouldn't be surprised if by the end of this year or even in the next year, the NFL has its own scandal as well. Well, no, they already did with Calvin Ridley placing
Yeah.
bets when he was injured.
Yeah, versions of this have happened, but this is the worst one I've personally heard
Well, yes, because
because
it's
of how
it's
like
active
how
player.
it was active throwing basically games. It was
Mhm.
actively trying to manipulate
Well, not
while
really
you were an
games, but
active
just
player.
pitches.
Yeah, but still, that
Yeah.
individual pitches affect games. So it's like if you
Mhm.
extrapolate it out, this is essentially that. It's just that you're not thinking about that when you, I don't know, have a gambling addiction. So yes, it definitely is interesting to see this as we talked about with the NBA stories that we talked about recently. Now it's going to be kind of a reckoning for these sports, like these sports news organizations that are so inundated with gambling ads to talk about this as if it's not some sort of emergency, this epidemic, because that's what it's becoming. When you have players that are getting just as obsessed and involved in this, you gotta roll it back. You gotta like put the genie back in the bottle. But I don't know if it's possible at this point. There's so much power. So I don't know. It's
Well,
definitely a weird
even
one.
before sports betting, there was and always has been a aura of manipulating games because of just fantasy sports as well. Fantasy baseball, football, basketball. That if you're playing against someone else who you're on their team,
Yeah.
maybe you don't want to do as good that week or that day. So there's always been this mystique aura, especially around professional sports and even some non-professional sports. Well, most recently professional sports. What's NIL? Is NIL professional? College
Sort of.
football?
No.
Yes and no, but also
Yes
they
and
get
no.
paid.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, and then the toxic fan base just attacking these players on social media because that's amplified these degenerate voices
Right.
of how could you do that to my team? Why couldn't you score that touchdown? How come you missed that catch? Aren't you supposed to be this great athlete? I picked you first overall. What happened? Not
Yeah.
that I do any of that because I'm not on social media anymore.
But yeah, no, it's yeah, it's rough is what I will say.
Yes.
And yeah, it's the closest that they've gotten to a four alarm fire. I think that this is going to be a reckoning that the industry is going to have to have.
Yeah, but it's not like the worldwide leader of sports is constantly promoting betting options, right? Oh, wait, no, sorry,
Hmm.
Disney, you are. Your hands are not clean in
Yeah.
this.
Yeah.
All right.
Turns out. Real rough.
Well, on a lighter note,
Is there such a thing?
well, college is still happening. College football is nearing the conclusion of its season as championship games are going to be occurring within the next, wait, we're coming in 15th, the next 2 weeks as we get towards bowl season.
Bowl season.
Now, lest we forget, there's an expanded college playoff system where the top 12 teams will get seeded. Currently, the of those 12 teams, the top four teams will get automatic buys. Three of those teams are currently undefeated. You have the Ohio State,
Hmm.
Indiana, and Texas. A&M, not that Texas.
Not that Texas. We're
Yeah,
not hooking
imagine
any
my surprise seeing
horns.
Texas A&M undefeated here and not
Yeah, weird.
actual Texas.
Yeah.
Well, that's because Texas and the Ohio State played earlier this year, so one of them had to have a loss.
Yeah.
Just
That's
how it works. But yeah, those
just
are
how
your
it
top
works.
three teams. If
Okay.
they conclude with an undefeated season, they will get those automatic buys.
Yeah.
That just leaves one spot open for a team of one or two losses to get that buy.
And who would that
Um,
be?
uh, it has to be someone who wins a championship, whether
Yeah.
it's the Big 12, Pac-12,
Hmm.
ACC, SEC, SEC, CBS, TNT, FLX.
Just any combination of three letters or three letters that you want. Yeah.
Yeah, college soup.
College soup. Delicious. My favorite. And I think you eat that in a bowl, actually, it turns out. So
Yes, you
it's all related. It's all connected when you think about it. All right, let's move on. To is that it for sports? Or do you have any other sports that leaked through there?
Um, I don't know if I mentioned it a couple weeks ago, but I may have. Speed Racist won the NASCAR championship. I believe I mentioned
Oh,
that.
I think you may have mentioned
I
that. I
may
know we
have
talked about
mentioned
it.
that. Yeah, I didn't see it in my previous notes, but mentioning
Yeah,
it
well,
here.
what are you gonna do?
There's a
Sometimes,
reason I didn't mention it. It's because he
yeah,
won, but yeah,
because bad.
because Speed Racist. All
Because
right.
yeah. All right, let's move on. That's it for sports, but we are going to talk about layoffs. No, not
Layoffs?
playoffs, but layoffs. Yes,
You're talking about
the
layoffs?
as we love to talk about here on the Media Boat Podcast,
I
other
don't know if love
shoes.
is a strong word.
Well, no, I'm not going to say layoffs. We don't love to talk about layoffs, but what we do love to talk about is when the other shoe drops. We often say,
Yes.
"Hey, this is going to happen, folks," and then it does happen, and then we have to report on it when it does
Well,
happen.
yeah, we pick up the phone call and say,
Yeah,
called
but
it.
we didn't need to do that here because it was pretty obvious.
Yes, the big
Yes.
neon sign.
Big neon sign, of course, that says layoffs is often lit as soon as a big merger or an acquisition happens, and it is not any different with this new one with Paramount and Skydance. Paramount has initiated its first major round of layoffs following the company's merger with Skydance, and the David Ellison regime has cut a number of executives across its television divisions. Paramount's linear broadcast and cable networks were hit hard, with marketing, communications, PR, business affairs, and programming departments all seeing major cuts in personnel. CBS News saw around 100 layoffs, which included the shuttering of the CBS News Bureau in Johannesburg, South Africa. Around 1,000 employees were affected by this round of layoffs. Wait a minute, is it Johannesburg with a hard J?
Yeah, it's Jay.
It's a hard J.
Johannesburg.
Okay, I did that wrong. Anyway, with another round
I
of
wasn't going to stop you.
approximately,
Keep going.
I don't know, I just rolled with it. Another round of approximately 1,000 expected in the coming weeks. That second batch is believed to be more focused on international operations, as Wednesday's layoffs cut many of Paramount Skydance's domestic operations to the bone. Yeah, we knew this was going to happen. There's a lot of bloat, I think, when you have two companies merging. I think there's a lot of redundancy that sometimes happens. But also on top of that, there's also an ideologically pushed pushed changeover that's happening here because of the Skydance folks. It's not exclusively just redundancy, I would bet. There is a, like you can even see it by what they're focusing on, especially with this next batch being mostly international. They're going to be mostly an American focused and entertainment field. Like they do not, they like they've explicitly said more or less that they want to make an America first kind of vibe over there. Yeah, it's going to be bad.
Yes, the alarm bell definitely went
Yes.
off on
Yeah,
that.
if you're not seeing red flags all over that, then yeah, it's pretty
Then you're
clear.
part of the problem. Wait, no, sorry.
Something like that. So yeah, not really big news, not really breaking news, but yeah, our hearts, of course, go out to everybody who has lost their job because of this and are looking for other work in the entertainment field. This is not a great time to be looking for any kind of job, from what I can tell out there. So yeah, it's bad news all over.
Yep. As you mentioned, they are looking to kind of build their own brand within Paramount, basically stripping out the old guard, what was there, and replacing it with this new infusion of like-minded individuals.
Hmm.
And even though it's technically a movie story, it's kind of trickles down to everywhere that one of their big priorities is the revamping of Star Trek. Not
Yeah.
just the TV series, but the movies as
Yes.
well. They
I read
recently
about this.
announced that
Yeah.
J.J. Abrams' Bad Robot Company would not be producing new Star Trek movies going forward.
Yeah.
This does mean Chris Pine is officially done
Yeah.
playing Captain Kirk,
Right.
and they are on the hunt for a new director, a new road to take this, and a whole new cast
Yeah.
for
I
Star
just
Trek movies.
I have a hard time believing that a Star Trek, a franchise built on diversity and progressivism is the path to the future, is going to thrive very well in this new Skydance Paramount universe. But hey, I could be wrong, right?
Well, see, that's why they're specifically targeting Star Trek because they
Yeah.
want to target that
Yes.
diversity.
I just don't think it's Star Trek anymore if you do change it that drastically, right? Because the whole thing is this utopian idea of humanity, of humanity's future. Like, sure, there is strife. I'm not saying that that's not a violent universe sometimes, but when that is your base, like you have to completely dismantle the thing to change that. And I don't think it's Star Trek anymore if you take that out. You take out that hope. You take out that I don't know, that vision of what we can accomplish. I don't
Rob,
know.
that's the thing about Star Trek is that it doesn't have to follow specifically Captain Kirk and
Yeah.
Spock and Uhura.
I mean, it's
That you
basically
can
like,
have this completely new version of Star
yeah.
Trek.
I think the comparison that you can easily make here is it becomes SpaceX, not NASA. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Like there's a values based version of this somewhere, but that's not what like SpaceX and whatever the other one, the Amazon guys version of it is. It's just
Blue
such a
Origin.
yeah, Blue Origin. It's just such a manufactured, gross, rich person's idea of what space is. And yeah, if that happens to be what happens to Star Trek, I think that's a disappointment.
Yeah, but think about who is going into space and
Hmm.
I'll say
Rich
belongs in
people.
space,
Yeah.
but
No, I'm not saying that that doesn't reflect what it is right now. It's just that that's depressing, and I don't
oh
want
yeah,
a
but that's
show
also what's
about
going to be
that.
reflected on screen.
Ugh, 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 I don't want to talk about that anymore. Let's move on.
All right.
Um, all right. So
Did you
that's it for
watch
that story.
anything?
Just wanted to note that Great British Bake Off ended this past week. So the finale is out there if you want to see who won. Other than that, I did not watch episode 2 of I Love LA because, as I talked about last week, have no real desire to. And yeah, kind of yeah, in between shows. I did not do what everybody else and their brother did and watch Apple TV Plus's Pluribus, but I did have heard it's good.
Okay, that makes two of us because I was between
You also
watching
did not
that.
watch Pluribus.
Well, it was either that or watch Only Murders in the Building because we talked about it
Yeah,
getting renewed last week,
right.
which means it ended. So
Yeah.
that's what we're doing instead
Okay.
and
Yeah,
binge watching that.
we're not caught up on that yet. So we'll get there soon. But so we'll hold off talking about then the finale for Only Murders
Yes.
until
Yeah,
later.
we're gonna try and finish it by next week, but we'll see
Okay,
how far we get. For the most
fair
part, I
enough.
get the idea of where they're going, like two
That
episodes in here,
makes sense.
because it is right there, the title, Only
Yeah.
Murders in the Building.
Yeah, I didn't watch we don't watch a whole lot of TV. We had this weekend. We had a lot going on. We did watch a movie though. But I'll save that for the end of the show.
Yep, and
Um,
I will get to Pluribus
yeah,
because
we'll get to it.
everyone's talking about it.
We do plan on trying out the pilot, see if it's something that we want to watch. So we'll get to there.
Yep.
All right. But in the meantime, why don't we talk about cancellations and renewals?
What am I no longer watching?
No cancellations this week, just a bunch of renewals for you. We start on Netflix. They're bringing, I think we already talked about this last week, but if we didn't, I will mention it again. Somebody does want this because Nobody Wants This on Netflix has gotten renewed for a third season after its second has recently premiered. Maybe we didn't talk about it. For some reason, I thought we talked about it last week, but maybe not.
I don't think
Um,
we have been like a day of story.
maybe. Hulu is bringing back Reasonable Doubt for a fourth season. Peacock has Love Island: Beyond the Villa for a second season.
It's their
And
post-show
lastly,
talk show.
oh, that what that is? Okay. It's
Yes.
got the recap show. Okay. And then Hulu is also bringing back All's Fair, the recent Kim Kardashian vehicle for a second
Hmm.
season. All right. So there you go.
Yes. I watched the trailer for that with my doctor.
Yeah, I don't know
She
about that one.
laughed during the whole thing.
Wait, did she laugh because it was funny or laugh because she was fun she thought it was funny, like as a concept?
No, laughed at like the acting in it as we were
Oh,
watching the
how bad it
trailer.
was. How bad it was.
Yes.
Yeah. Hmm.
That trailer does it no favors. But
No,
then
and
from
I've
Ryan
heard
Murphy, so I
it's
was like, okay, maybe there's something here.
trust me, we are very far removed from the days when Ryan Murphy's name meant quality. I
Yeah.
think we are we are to another side of that conversation at this point. There's something about having too much power in television, turns out. All right.
And
So
that's what
those are
streaming's for. They
yeah,
put anything
exactly.
on there.
Put anything over there. So yeah, let's move on then from cancellations, renewals, and talk about the last segment of the show, which is movies. And we always start with the weekend box office numbers. And hey, guess who was right by default because you actually took the first option here. You played it too safe about
I'm
Predator
sorry, I didn't
Badlands.
think people cared about Predator.
People care about Predator because Predator Badlands premiered to $40 million at the box office this week, almost doubling what we had it at. So, yes, I will take that point this week. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Moving on, number two, Regretting You made $6.6 million this week. That's at 38 domestic. Number three, Black Phone 2 hangs around with 5.1. That's at 70. Sarah's Oil, which I have no idea what this
I don't
is,
know. Others came out of nowhere.
was your number four movie, $4.2 million in its first week. And then number five, that Nuremberg film only made $3.8 million. I do want to note it wasn't on our major release calendar last week, but it did debut to over 2,000 theaters. The Sydney Sweeney vehicle, Christie, no relation to this friend of the show, Christie, apparently completely bombed and is nowhere in this top five.
Well, yes, it couldn't even clear 4.2, which was Sarah's
No.
oil.
So yeah, so there you go. Just so it was a really weird week if you weren't a Predator movie this weekend. But
Whoa,
yeah,
whoa, whoa, whoa. Phrasing.
Predator. Yeah, Predator movie. Yeah, that could be about something else. Huh? All right, we're going to move on to this next week's new releases. I will delete that. There we go.
Yes.
Next week we have a triplicate of new releases for something for everybody, I guess. You have the Edgar Wright remake of The Running Man. Um, yeah, that looks crazy.
Yeah.
All the trailers for that thing
Glenn
looks.
Powell
Glenn Powell
is
is the
running.
running man in The Running Man. We also have Now You See Me, Now You Don't, the third in the Now You See Me franchise, which is what the second one should have been called, but they had to use it at some point, so there it is. And
Yep.
also something called Trap House.
Horror, I believe, from what
It's
I've
not about
remember.
rappers.
No, it's not about rappers. It's not about trap music or house
Okay.
music.
All right. Not about rappers or
It said
drugs?
it said wide release.
Are there bees in this trap?
Maybe, maybes.
Maybe. All right. Let's move on then. Well, actually, no, we can't move on. We have to pick one. I think it's obviously Now You See Me. That seems to be that's got to be your number one, right?
I mean, you could take that because I'm going to take
Oh,
Edgar Wright here.
you really think people care about the Running Man?
Yeah.
I have
Let's
to
see
remind
here.
you that the last time there was a big Edgar Wright vehicle, it did not do well. So I
Yeah, you don't have
think
to
that
remind me about
even
Baby Driver.
no, there was one after that.
Oh,
What
Last
it
Night
was
in
called
Soho.
Last Night in Soho with uh Chess
Blonde.
Girl.
Yes.
Princess Peach. What's her name? Wow,
Th three-word name.
yeah, Anya Taylor-Joy. I
Anya
got
Taylor-Joy.
there.
Three-word name.
Yeah. So yeah, no, everyone forgot that that movie existed. So yeah, no, I don't think that Edgar Wright's name has that kind of power anymore. I think Now You See Me is getting the bigger marketing push. People like those movies. I've never seen them. I don't know. But yeah, I think that that's your number one movie.
All right. I was wrong. Trap House is a action movie starring Dave Bautista
Oh,
and
Batista's
Bobby
in that.
Cannavale
Okay, sure. Why not?
and,
That's very
and
different from
Sophia
a horror
Lillis.
movie. Okay, sure. Yeah. Well, okay, then now we know.
Yes, if you
Anyway,
want your Bautista bombing going on.
Batista Bomb. Okay, so yeah, you put me up for Now You See Me. I think that's your number
All
one
right.
movie. But if you
All
want to
right.
disagree,
I'll take the Running Man.
you could. I'm saying I'm trying to save you here. You could even say Predator rolls over. That could also happen. I'm just trying to save you from yourself here. But if you really want to commit to the Running Man, go for it.
No,
You
I'm
could
just
prove me wrong.
bashing.
I don't know. Okay.
I want to prove you. I want to prove me right. I want to prove Edgar right.
You want to prove Edgar
I want
right?
to prove Glenn Powell does have what it takes, and that Twisters was not a fluke.
Twisters was not a one-off. Okay. All right. We'll see.
Yes,
Okay.
yes. Give me that Chad Powers energy.
I don't want any Chad Powers and Chad Powers power. I don't want any of that. All right, let's move on. We have a movie's story for you. One of our favorite things to talk about, which is, hey, who owns IP? And this week, there's a real legitimate question. We don't know about this one, and it's about Roger Rabbit. Yes, it's
Well, we know
official.
who framed Roger
Well,
Rabbit.
but we don't know who owns Roger Rabbit is the question. But I'm going to put an asterisk on it's official. I get to why
All right,
it
I'll
is.
put a question mark there.
Yeah, it's official. So, ownership of Roger Rabbit is supposedly successfully back in the hands of creator Gary K. Wolf, the author of the original book in which the 1988 movie, is based. Quote, I now have back the rights to all my characters, all my books. I can basically do my own Roger Rabbit projects. End quote. So, regaining these rights was made possible through the 35-year copyright reversion clause. This clause was designed to give original creators, such as songwriters and authors, the ability to reclaim rights to their original work after a period of 35 years. Quote, any sequels that we do have to at least match the quality of the original 1988 movie. This is Wolf continuing. In production value, in tone, in script content, in empathy and character development, it has to be as good or better than what we did before. That's what the fans want, and I have promised the fans that that's what I'm going to give them. Okay, my big asterisk here. If we were talking about any other entertainment company, then maybe I'd say, okay, sure, that's good news. I'm glad he got it back. We're talking about Disney, though.
Yes.
They are going to go to the ends of the earth to try to keep this IP. It doesn't matter if they're planning on using it, but they have theme park rides. They have merchandise with
For
Roger
now.
Rabbit's name
For now.
on it. They're going to fight this man. Like, I'm sorry, this is just the world that we live in. They will figure out any possible loophole around this clause to keep their claws on this property. I don't care what Gary K. Wolf says. I just don't think it's that simple. And so I have my doubts, unfortunately, about that.
Right. Now, what this does allow him to do, as mentioned here, that he can continue to create projects revolving Roger Rabbit and the
Yes.
characters and
Yeah.
specifically Toontown
But
from
that's the
his
thing
creation.
is I think that's going to be the piece that Disney wants to keep the most, which is this
Yes.
concept that the characters all live in one shared universe. I mean, they made a lot of money on that concept, whether it's the Toontown Land in Anaheim's
Disney.
Disneyland, or the Toontown video game that ran on the internet for years, their little MMO. Like they've made that is a crucial piece of their animation history that they don't want to lose. I mean, then not even to say that the movie Who Framed Roger Rabbit is still revered as a classic and like is still just as
You can thank Robert
important.
Zemeckis for that
And yeah, you
before
well,
he went post Castaway.
yeah, you can thank Robert Zemeckis and you can thank Gary K. Wolfe for that idea. And I've heard the book is a little different, but a lot of that was his brainchild. And I do think that in a perfect world, he should get those rights back. I just don't think that it's going to be as simple as he can do whatever he wants because I do think that that is a lawsuit waiting to happen.
Right, but he has said, continuing on to his post, that he still has good relations with Disney. So if he
Mhm.
wants to create a sequel to Roger Rabbit,
I think that becomes a collaboration and not a
yes,
wholly owned thing for him. I think that he can make suggestions, but ultimately Disney is going to make the movie that they want to make. And we
right.
know right now, the Disney that exists right now, that probably won't
Yes,
be the
copyright
Roger
is
Rabbit he wants it
Disney's
to be.
lawyers' bread and butter.
I'm sorry, I look at this list of things that he wants, high production value, like empathy, character development. You're not going to get that out of 2025 Disney. I'm sorry. Like they just don't make those movies anymore. Like that's
You got
just
to
not
keep
what they're
Jessica
interested
Rabbit
in
the
doing.
same, though.
Yeah, exactly. Jessica Rabbit. Can't touch her. She's perfect.
You can't put her in a trench coat like they do on the ride.
Well, I mean, she's not bad. She's just drawn that way. Come on, we know
Drawn
that.
this way.
All right. Anyways, we can stop talking about that now.
All right.
So I think we have to move this conversation because I'm getting the idea that you, unlike us, did not watch Guillermo del Toro's Frankenstein on Netflix this weekend.
I thought this was this upcoming weekend.
No, it was this past weekend as of
Okay.
Friday. So we can, it's fine. I won't say anything besides the
Just,
fact that
is it worth watching?
yes, with about five exclamation points, you need to watch this movie,
All
especially you.
right.
I am talking from the first 15 minutes, I said, oh my God, every shot in this thing is spectacular looking. This is something that I think we're going to be thinking a lot about in the cinematographer race in Oscar time. This
Now, this
has
is
got
Guillermo del
you.
Toro here,
Yes,
who
right.
has won an Oscar
Yes.
for The Shape of Water.
Yes. I think that this is definitely a strong contender award season, and I do think that you're going to love every second of it. So we'll talk about it next week once you've watched it.
I
Yep. Sorry. Add it to your schedule. I
know,
will
Guillermo del Toro's
say
hit and miss for me. He's not my go-to guy.
just one thing though, if you're planning on watching this with the doctor, if there's sensitivity at all with certain body horror stuff,
Mhm.
that is one thing that I will say about there is some body horror stuff in here. But of course there is. It's a story about Frankenstein, so yeah,
The
just a
monster or
warning.
the doctor?
Both turns out.
Haha.
I'm not going to elaborate on that. I'm just going to
Yes.
say it is about both of those characters,
All
as
right.
you would imagine it would be.
Yes.
I'm trying like it's talk spoilers is weird about this because it's a story that's been adapted a bunch of times. But I
Hmm.
went in only knowing kind of a part of the story, and by the end of it, I was like, oh, okay, there's a lot happening. I will note that it does differ a lot from the book, as we found out later when we kind of did our own digging.
Hmm.
But the changes he makes are very purposeful, and I do think that it is effective at what it does. So yeah,
Well,
I strong recommendation.
I do like Oscar Isaac.
Oh yeah, he's something else in this thing.
Are you
Also,
hinting at
I,
something there?
I no, I'm just saying that yeah, he's very good in the role. In fact, everybody is actually better than you think that they're going to going in, especially with just name recognitions. Like I had kind of written off Mia Goth as it being really funny that she's in these movies with that name.
Hmm.
But I think I may be sold on Mia Goth now. I'm like, okay, I get it. I get it. Also, someone else, this I won't spoil. There's somebody else in this cast also that I was like, okay, maybe I shouldn't have poo-pooed this person as much as I have in the past. So yeah, you'll see.
All right, The Return of Megan Fox. Got it.
She's not in this movie. All right.
Oh,
So
I don't
that's
know. I
yeah.
haven't seen it yet.
So
For
yeah,
all I know, she is in the movie.
we'll table it next week. We'll talk in depth
I,
about this movie
I
because I'm
will
sure
watch it by
we
next week.
will. We'll also have more time next time. So,
Yes.
but that's it.
And that'll do it
That
for
means
us here in
Yeah,
this
that means that's
episode.
it for the show. So thank you for joining us this week on the Media Boat Podcast. We'll be back next week for another episode. If you want to see it in video form, you can go to our YouTube channel, search Media Boat Podcast on YouTube to find it. You can, do the usual YouTube stuff like comment, subscribe, click the bell for notifications when new videos go live. You can also catch us in audio form on podcast services of your choice by searching Media Boat Podcast. You can find us on social media on Blue Sky. We're at mediaboatpodcast.bsky.social. You can also find us on twitch.tv/mediaboat, where Mike plays the occasional video game. And last but definitely not least, if you want to ask us questions, give us feedback, just talk to us. You can email us at mediaboatpodcast@gmail.com. We will read your email here on the show. With that, we'll be back next week for another episode where, like I said, we'll talk about Frankenstein more in depth. We'll talk about all sorts of other news. We'll talk about, I guess, the Cy Young and
We'll have our MVP awards. We'll have
MVP
Pluribus.
awards. Yep.
We'll have Frankenstein.
Yes, all sorts of stuff. So look forward to that next week.
Yeah, we'll have all that. We'll be back with more news, more thoughts, and more of us.
All right. See ya.
Okay, bye.